Every Viking knit chain that you make is going to need some form of starter. Now, there are several tools on the market if you're looking for a tool to do the starter. One in particular that a lot of people like is called the Lazy Daisy by Stephanie Eddy. What I'm going to show you today is a classic daisy starter, and I like this over the Lazy Daisy for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it gives you a little loop here that you can use to hold on to as you're drawing the chain through the draw plate in the finishing stage. And the other advantage I like about this is that you have complete control over how many petals you make. Now, the petals are these things here, which form the foundation of your chain. If you use just a few petals, then what you'll end up with is a chain that is more open and lacy looking and will stretch out more when you draw it. If you have more petals, then you'll end up with a chain that is more dense and compact looking. The tools you'll need to make your starter are flat nose pliers or chain nose pliers, flush cutting wire nippers, a ruler, a dowel, masking tape, and a small piece of note paper. If you're not using a dowel modified for making Viking knitting, you'll also need an awl. You'll also need about 3 feet, 1 meter of wire in the gauge you've chosen to make your chain. I recommend choosing a wire that is a different metal or a different color from what you'll be using for your finished chain. Some of this wire will be used to make the daisy, and the rest will be used to do a little bit of starter knitting. Now, I recommend that you use at least 1 foot, 30 centimeters of wire to do some starter knitting. The reason for that is that it helps you to work out the tension and get your ribbing straight before you switch over into your good metal, and that means potentially less waste of expensive materials. To make your daisy, you'll first start by wrapping the note paper around the ruler. This makes it easy to slide your petals off the ruler later on. Next, straighten out your wire a bit and lay it over the piece of paper, leaving a short tail of about 2 inches, 5 centimeters. Wrap the wire in a loose coil around the ruler for the number of petals you want to make. The tops of the loops here are going to be the parts you attach your starter knitting to. So, for example, if I'm making a starter with 5 petals, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the end of the wire is back down here where I cut it off with the wire nippers. From here, you'll carefully slide the coil off and then squeeze the loops together a bit close to the top. Then, use the tails to bind off the top and make the loop secure. Once you've got that, you can start to spread the petals out into a circle. This is where the daisy starter gets its name, because it looks like a daisy flower. Once you have the petals spread out, you can center the starter on the top of your dowel and fold the petals down. You'll need to pay attention to spreading them out evenly again so that there aren't any large gaps. Once you're happy with that, then wrap a piece of masking tape around the petals close to the top of the dowel to hold everything in place. You can also use an elastic band for this in place of the masking tape.